When you look at a company like Apple on paper, it seems like one of the most powerful corporate entities in human history. It has incredible wealth, it designs its own technology from the chip all the way up, and it commands a kind of brand loyalty that entire nations would be jealous of. But power on paper isn't quite the same as power in the real world. We're talking about a market valuation in the trillions. That's a number that just dwarfs the GDP of most countries. To put that into perspective, if Apple were a country, it would be one of the top 10 richest on Earth. That kind of wealth gives you the freedom to invest, to acquire, to innovate on the scale it's hard to even comprehend. And it meticulously controls its entire ecosystem of hardware and software. It creates that seamless and famously walled-off user experience. From the silicon in the phone to the app on the screen, Apple is in charge. And every single year, it sells hundreds of millions of these devices all over the planet. It's a logistical and commercial feat that just operates with breathtaking efficiency. A true titan of design, finance, and logistics.
And yet, behind this image of absolute control, there's a fundamental problem.
For all that power, Apple can't just decide to move its manufacturing base. And this isn't because it doesn't want to, or because it doesn't have the money. It's because on a very practical level, it can't. The very system that created all its success has now, in a way, become its cage. So, to understand this paradox, we have to look beyond the idea of a single factory. We need to see the vast, intricate system that really holds up modern manufacturing. It's a question you hear all the time, right? Especially with all the geopolitical tensions rising. If it's so risky, why not just pack up and go somewhere else? Well, the answer is that there's nothing simple about packing up. Because what Apple really relies on isn't just a factory, or even a bunch of factories. It's an entire ecosystem, a dense, interwoven network of suppliers, skilled labor, and custom infrastructure that has been built and perfected over decades. Think about what that really means. Just picture a single city where thousands of factories, each making one tiny component of an iPhone, are all located within a few miles of each other. A massive, highly specialized workforce, trained for years in the very delicate art of electronics assembly, lives and works there. The roads, the ports, the entire infrastructure, it's all been built for one single purpose: to move these parts and finished products with maximum speed. You can't just pick up that entire city and move it somewhere else. And this dependency, it's not some accident of history. It's actually a direct consequence of Apple's own business model. A model that is built on a foundation of relentless speed and just massive scale. Apple's dominance really comes from its ability to innovate on a yearly cycle, launch a new product on a global stage all at once, and then make it available to millions of people almost instantly. That entire cycle, from a new design idea to a phone in your hand, it all depends on a supply chain that can move with just incredible speed. And this presents a choice that they just can't get around. The ecosystem in China is uniquely capable of delivering this combination of scale and speed. So leaving it would mean slowing down. And slowing down would mean giving up the very competitive advantage that defines Apple's place in the market. That is the core trade-off. It's inescapable. So when a company operates at this kind of scale, its decisions are no longer just about business. They become geopolitical. The intricate dependencies of its supply chain become moves on a much larger board. It stops being just a company and becomes something more like critical infrastructure. Suddenly, governments are paying very close attention to where its products are made, who controls the components, and ultimately, who depends on who. Apple is now a piece on the global chessboard, whether it wants to be or not. And this deep, structural dependence, it creates leverage, not in an obvious day-to-day way, but as a quiet, strategic pressure. When global tensions flare up, Apple's entanglement means it can't be a neutral party. It's caught in currents of forces that are far, far larger than itself. So, as we pull all these pieces together, the picture starts to become really clear. The cage isn't made of iron bars. It's made of the interlocking inefficiencies of the globalized system itself. Now, yes, Apple is working hard to diversify its supply chain. It's shifting some production to countries like India and Vietnam. But it's so important to understand that diversification is not replacement. These new facilities are like spokes on a wheel, but China remains the central, irreplaceable hub of the entire operation. And that's because no other single place on Earth right now offers the same unique mix of factors. The sheer scale you need to produce hundreds of millions of units, the precision engineering required for high-end electronics, we're talking about tolerances measured in microns, that's less than the width of a human hair, and the unparalleled speed to meet global launch deadlines. It's the combination of all three that creates this lock-in. It's really important to see this situation for what it is. This is not the story of a corporate failure or a lack of foresight on Apple's part. In fact, it's pretty much the opposite. This is the result of success. It's the logical conclusion of a global economic system where efficiency was pushed to its absolute limit. In the hunt for optimization, fragility was created as an unintended byproduct. Apple's predicament is really just a symptom of a much larger system. What Apple's story really is a preview of a coming challenge. As the world changes, the giants of the global economy might find that their greatest strengths were built on foundations they don't own and can't move. In the future, true power might not be measured by market cap or innovation, but by the simple freedom to act.